Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about hamstrings. So first off, where are hamstrings? They are back of the thighs, and technically, on each leg we've got 3 hamstrings. It might be easier to think about it as 2, but I'll explain why it's 3, and we'll start with a drawing, so an anatomical drawing in my massage book. So if you don't want to look at that, just wait a minute until I'm done showing this picture, but for some folks this might be a helpful visual to see what I am talking about. Alright, so here you have semi-tendinosis and semi-membranosus. So technically these are 2 muscles. Because one is deeper and one's more superficial, that's why I meant you can kind of think about it like 2 groups. So you got so you got, this side with technically these 2 muscles, and then you've got this other side that is 1 muscle that has 2 heads. But really, you've got like 2 pretty distinct sections, one on the inside of your leg and one on the outside. So I'll show this on me. So you've got, this is lateral. Lateral is outside, medial is inside. So, here comes a big muscle belly, and here's the other big muscle belly. And the ones that are layered on top of each other that we just talked about a minute ago, semi-tendinosis and semi-membranosus, that is on the medial side of the leg. So the 2 that are stacked are here. The one that splits into 2 heads is here. What do these muscles do? They are responsible for flexing the knee. So if my knee, my knee right now is extended, and now it's flexed. So my hamstrings are doing that. To stretch the hamstrings, a lot of times we get frustrated with stretching the hamstrings. Like, what do? Like, you have to do, this weird thing where you put your leg up and to get into the back of that. I rarely do that, honestly. I'm going to show you all my favorite way to stretch my hamstrings, which is kind of a little bit of a combo of a stretch and a massage move, honestly. So let's see if I can get this angle right. Alright, so here are my hamstrings. Now, first of all, a lot of times when we come back here, it kind of feels like one just huge compacted situation, like one muscle, because a lot of times our hamstrings are tight, they're congested, maybe they have kind of bound together in a way because the fascia is all knotted up. But before you do anything else, see if you can try to feel in between the back of the leg, to try to just start to get a little bit of separation of the hamstrings. I'm just helping them become those 2 separate sections to just kind of bring some awareness to them. And where they go, they come up and they insert on either side of the knee back here, and then they come up here and insert. Here, I'll get up to show you all this part. They come up and insert at this bone under your butt. So if you kind of find that bony structure that sticks out down here, hamstrings come up and attach there. So I often like to, when I'm stretching or working, a muscle massage wise, it can often be really good to incorporate the attachment sites. So by that I mean the one down at the butt and the one in the knees. So I'll bend my knee to kind of find those hamstring tendons. They're like really tendinous, as in you'll notice like, what is this thing sticking out? That's your hamstring tendons coming down, more than likely. And then if you follow them up, you can kind of get into the bellies of the muscles. And you might notice like, oh, there's some really like tenderness down here or up here. Stay away from the back side of your knee. If you go all the way down to your attachment sites of the hamstring, you know, keep it on the outside, like inside and outside, but like don't get into this area. Keep it on the outside and be gentle with it. Maybe just like a little bit of circles here. But to feel a nice stretch, the thing I like to do is kind of dig in to the muscle bellies, kind of like I was doing before, just to separate them a little bit. And then go ahead and extend that knee, but like keep that grip into those hamstring bellies. So I'm getting a grip, I'm kind of like using gravity and like the force of my whole body as a anchor here. And then I'm just going to slowly extend my knee. I recommend that you cut your nails before you do this, or keep your fingers flatter so you're not digging your nails into your muscle. But I'm kind of like pinning the muscle and almost pushing it like a little bit down towards the floor. And by doing that, I open it up by extending the knee. And then I just do that up and down the full bellies of the muscle. And I feel like in this way, whew, I just felt something bounce. I'm really addressing different aspects of these hamstrings and getting them loosened up. Other things that you can do is once you extend, you can move your foot around, like right, left, back, forth, circles, and that's just gonna like help keep moving the fibers of the muscles in different directions and ultimately like open them up a little bit more. So already these hamstrings are feeling a little bit looser just with that amount. And you know, do that on both sides if you're up for it. Another thing I like to do for hamstrings is get this ball under my hamstrings and just press my, let me back up a little bit. Get this ball under my hamstrings and literally I'm just pressing my knee into the floor. My foot is coming off the floor. See if you can. So it's like pressing knee down, ankle automatically like comes up by nature of how this works. Let me adjust the camera a little bit so y'all can see better what I'm doing. All right. So yeah, just like that, knee down, your ankle might come off the ground, and then you can just do some rolling back and forth. If you're getting a little bit of an arm workout in, careful on this. If this is okay for your body, you can try this out where, you know, hands behind you to kind of support you, and then roll your leg. You can also do this with a foam roller. I do like the ball for this more than a foam roller in some ways to really get those specific like tight spots along the hamstring and like really dig into them in a way that like a foam roller is broad and not going to provide as much direct pressure into those like tighter spots. Another thing you can do is position your ball you know, wherever under your hamstring is tight and rotate your leg like back and forth at the hip to kind of like dig into the sides of the hamstring in that way. And then another thing that I like to do is get my rolling pin and just roll the back of my hamstrings out like this. And I did this last night, so it's not as sore today, but it is still kind of sore. And you know, you can experiment a little bit by like getting a grip on the pen and like extending your leg, see how that feels. That's really doing a nice pull behind my knee right now. But notice that I said nice. If you're like, oh, stop, try something else. Anyway, I hope that can give you a little information more about like what your body is doing. So hopefully there was a takeaway in that for you, and thanks for tuning in.